But I think that like a big thing of faith, like while you're walking, is trusting God with everything and not just picking certain things. In order to like have like really strong faith, you need to give like everything. Like your life needs to be an altar.
Hey guys, welcome to the Youth Podcast, episode 2. We're gonna be talking everything faith. I got Dean, I got Cam, I got Grant. We got 2 special guests right now. We got Lola, we got Cooper. We're gonna do an icebreaker. Dean had a genius idea, so we're just gonna ask Dean what our icebreaker is.
My icebreaker is, what's one movie that you've seen way too many times? For me, it's gonna be the Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. That's my.
That's the best Pirates of the Caribbean.
How many times did you watch that?
Probably over 50.
Over 50.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's an old movie, so I've been seeing it since I was a kid. It's not like it's like just came out. So.
When I was a kid, I used to go to my uncle's house, and we used to just only watch Spider-Man. They Tobey Maguire because we were cool kids. Just like I would probably watch that over like 100 times. Like Spider-Man, just watch that all the time. He's like, no, Batman's better than Spider-Man. Everyone knows that, but he was my favorite superhero.
Next icebreaker we should have, who's your favorite Spider-Man?
Oh my gosh.
It's Andrew Garfield.
Andrew Garfield.
It's Miles Morales.
I'll go next. I think one of the movies I've watched a lot is Thor Ragnarok. The only Thor movie I've watched at least 5 times. It's so good. So good.
I think for me, definitely one of the top guns. Probably the new one I've watched more. Yeah, I'd say at least 40 times.
Yeah.
It's bad. That's
So-
insane.
Okay, there's a difference between my 50 and your 40. That movie's only been out for like 3 years, dude. It came out in 2022.
So
It's a good movie.
I'd say for me, like in my teenage years, or like kind of like the second I hit like the age of 7, no, like 8.
Hold on. You said in your teenage years. You're still a teenager.
I know, but like
You're forced.
These are your two.
talking about the present.
Back in the
I'd
day.
say Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's my like. It's not really. I wouldn't say it's a favorite movie, but it's like it's so good. If you've never seen Ferris Bueller's Day Off, watch it. But thinking like my whole life, The Greatest Showman.
Oh.
Yeah.
It was every night.
That's just gonna say Elmo.
Great showman.
I was about to lead this podcast.
Okay.
Yeah, he's a great actor.
Definitely the movie Dodgeball. Oh my, it's so dumb, dude.
That's my favorite movie.
Dude, I used to watch it every single day when I was in like 7th and 8th grade, and like the David Hasselhoff
Long
scene
hair Cooper.
used to make long hair.
It
It's
looked like the guy.
I looked like the guy.
I've never seen that movie, for the record.
It's so
You
good.
should watch it.
It's
We had like a teacher versus
Dude, you're watching
students
this.
dodgeball on the last day of
Dodgeball.
freshman year, and one of
Yes.
the other teachers' dodgeball teams, they all came in, they were going,
That is peak cinema. Dodgeball.
and it was so funny.
Cinema at its finest. All right, we're good. Enough of dodgeball.
Anyways.
Awesome movie.
Let's talk
We're-
about.
Faith.
One.
I was gonna make a faith pun, but.
All right.
Yeah,
Question
This is
1.
the best cut so far.
What does faith look like to you? Who wants to answer this?
I can go first.
Okay.
So yeah, faith for me is trust without full understanding. It's knowing God's plan for me, but also knowing that I don't know it myself. Does that make sense? It's like you're going through a corn maze. You can't see the end, but you know there's an end.
That's actually
That's
pretty
Yeah,
good.
it was spitting fire.
Snap.
Well, I think it's yours.
But there's also dead ends, so you can also like walk off the path of God. So it's like when Peter's walking on water, and Jesus is like, "Walk. If you have faith in me, you'll be able to walk to the boat." And he starts walking, but then he starts looking to the left, to the right, and then he slowly starts falling off, and then getting in the water, and he has to swim to the boat. So it's kind of like that.
Yeah.
So,
Really good.
I'll go next. I say for me, faith looks like trust in action. And some people I feel like they think there's a difference between trust and faith, or there's not a difference, but there is. I'd say trust is more based on like evidence or experience. Like I can say, I trust Josiah's going to be at church on Sunday because he's at church every Sunday. Whereas faith is more like without evidence, like saying, I trust that this day will get better without knowing how the rest of the day is actually going to go. Basically, faith is believing without seeing, and trust is believing with what the things you have seen.
Noah had faith that the flood was going to come. Through his faith became the fruit, and that fruit became the ark. So God wants you to build your ark before the flood comes.
That's good.
Oh,
That's good.
That's really, really good.
I can go.
Well, you can go.
Okay.
Spit some fire on us, Noah.
So to me, obviously, at first, like the biggest thing people think when they think of faith is like believing that like God sent His one and only Son in the world to die and then He rose again 3 days later. But I think that like a big thing of faith, like while you're walking, is trusting God with everything and not just picking certain things. Like you can't say you have faith and then you're like, I'm gonna trust God with like this friendship argument, but like I don't need God like to help me with like me and my boyfriend. Like, and I think that it's really important that like in order to like have like really strong faith, you need to give like everything. Like your life needs to be an altar. And so at our youth camp, Champion Center, if you guys are watching this and you've never been to youth camp, go to youth camp. At our middle school camp, we had a boy come up, and I think his dad was a leader. I don't know which boy. Oh, it was Anthony and Cash. And so he got up, he climbed to the top of the ladder, and he just fell back, trusting that his dad would catch him. So when we have faith, we're trusting that our Father in heaven will catch us, like no matter the circumstance, like similar to what I think it was Josiah was saying, like when Jesus was walking on the water, the main problem was that the people that like with the dead ends, or you know, you can just wind it back, is that they were focusing on like the water and the danger rather than focusing on the walking. So I think that faith is focusing on the walking instead of focusing on everything around it, like knowing that like God has a plan for you and trusting in it.
That's fire.
Really good.
I can follow that. So for me, a couple months ago, Gina, one of our youth leaders at Bellevue,
Shout out Grandma.
Shout out Grandma. She gave a message all about faith, and it's this year we've been doing like big questions, big answers. I forget what they're called, but the question was like, what is faith? And her answer was a strong belief in something you cannot see or know is there. And I thought that one just really hit with me. It's like you trust in a God, you believe in a God, but you don't know He's real. You just putting all out faith in something that you don't know. And so I was reading some Bible verses, and Hebrews 11 really stuck out to me. And it opens up saying, now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see. This is what the ancients were commanded for. By faith we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what is visible. And that was really big. And then throughout the passage, it just lists a bunch of different people from the Bible and how their faith led to God doing incredible things in their life. I counted, it said the phrase by faith 17 times, and it mentioned 19 different people that God did stuff in their lives. And it reminded me of some other verses, Matthew 17:20. And this says, He replied, because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, move to here to there, and it will move. Nothing will be impossible for you.
Yeah.
And that one, it was like big. It's like you don't need to have huge faith to have good stuff happen to you. And that was really big for me. And then another thing was James 2:17. It says, in the same way, faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead. And that was big because you can have faith. You can have this faith the size of a mustard seed, but if you don't do anything about it, if you just sit there and let the world go by, your faith is dead. But when you have action and you go out of your way to follow Jesus, and as Jesus said, deny yourselves every day and carry up your cross with Him, that's when your faith is lively and flourishing. And so then Hebrews 11 ends saying, they were put to death by stoning, and they were sawed in two, and they were killed by sword. They went about in sheepskins and goatskins, desolate, persecuted, and mistreated. The world was not worthy of them. They wandered in deserts and mountains, living in caves and holes in the ground. These were all commended for their faith, yet none of them received what had been promised, since God had planned for something better for us, so that only together with us they would be made perfect.
Yeah.
That was really big for me, because it just talked about how they had huge faith. They had like the famous people of the Bible, and God did all these amazing things in their lives. And then they were killed in gruesome ways and just hated and mistreated for what they believed. So having faith, it's not worrying about what other people think and just believing it. It's good.
That's fire.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
That was really, really good.
We're gonna go into question 2. How has God been faithful to you, Darius?
I'll go first. I'd say God's been faithful to me by showing me He's there for me through other people's testimonies. At our church, #Tammy's there, every Sunday, or most Sundays, our pastor has a real life example of a person who prayed for God, or prayed to God for a miracle, and it was answered. And I feel like that really helps me remember that God listens to my prayers, because he listens to everyone's. Why wouldn't he listen to mine? And, it just helps me remember that he answers them in his own amazing ways. And it makes me really think back on my life that God has blessed me so much.
Yeah.
And there are lots of times where I feel like I need to be reminded of his love and grace.
I think for me, it was really God pulling me out of a season of doubt and lack of faith. So, as you all know, I moved to California last November, and I moved to a really, really isolated spot. And I feel like isolation is so dangerous because you're drawing conclusions, and then, what's the word? You're drawing conclusions in your own head, and then you're confirming those conclusions also in your own head. So you're asking yourself questions and answering those questions in your own head. And my relationship with God had grown stagnant, and then at a point I just completely lost faith. Like, I was convinced there was no God. I'd been wasting my time for years. I felt so stupid. And when I came up for the summer, I decided to come up to do internship for the summer, almost solely for the community and for my friends being here. And we went to youth camp, and no one here really knows about this, but when I went to youth camp,
There was cramps.
when I went to youth camp, right when I got there, I went to one of the porta potties and I prayed in the porta potty, but it wasn't like,
This was pre-camp porta potty, not post-camp.
yeah.
Big difference, folks. For those that haven't been in camp, big difference between pre-camp porta potties and post-camp.
That would have been like a 5-second prayer.
Not his, guys.
I love you.
But it didn't feel like a prayer where I'm like asking God for something like it normally is. It felt like I was very angry at God, and it felt like almost a lecture. Like I was like, God, show up. I remember saying this audibly. I just said, God, show up or I'm done. Show yourself to me that you're real or I'm done and I'm never coming back. And I think that was probably one of the darkest moments in my life. But then literally a day later, I had one of the most visible right in front of me experiences. Like God showed up in the most insane way in my life. And I think really just not just that, but looking back, he provided me so many opportunities to come back and find a community with him, centered in him, even when I didn't want it. Like looking back, all the opportunities that he continuously provided me when he had every right to just leave me and discard me. I was disrespectful to him. I disgraced him.
Wow.
I was literally the worst friend, really, to him. And he had every right to leave me, but for some reason he didn't.
Wow.
And I think that's really the only reason that I'm here. So
That's great. I love how
That
long
is so
just got there. Wow.
Wait, I was going to cry. I feel like emotional.
That was good though. We're gonna go into question 3. Have you ever had faith in something other than God? What happened?
Ooh, I know. I think for me it's approval. I definitely had faith in if everyone around me likes me and wants to be around me, then that's all I need. So this was especially in middle school because I moved to Silicon in 6th grade, and then I was kind of new at school, and I kind of had a bad rep in 6th grade because I was guys, I was really emo.
yeah,
I was
I've seen pictures, dude. It was rough.
it was rough. And so I'm oh my gosh, I just felt everyone thought I was really weird in 6th grade, and then in 7th grade I started to get a little bit more popular, I guess, and people started to actually want to hang out with me. And then in 8th grade, I low-key hit my peak, I think. And then, but it was I wasn't working. I was going to youth, but it was I didn't really I was just kind of going because I wanted, I just wanted more people to like me. So it was I was really working off of if people liked me, then I didn't need God's approval. That if everyone who's around me was fulfilling me with just praise, then I wouldn't need that. But then when someone didn't like me, my whole world would just crumble, and I'd be Dad, you're doing wrong, am I just too like loud? And then I'd start hating on myself. But then it got to the point like I lost faith or want for God's approval, like through that.
Yeah.
And I low key like I lost like maybe like a lot of my faith, and I was just like, because I was like, I don't even really know how to explain it, but I think that just like working off of approval of others, and then I had a moment like, because I've been coming to you since 7th grade, but I gave my life to Jesus when I was probably like 14, and I probably like fully committed my life to Jesus probably like last October, because like I finally gotten like the right friends, like me and Goober became friends, and like I got closer with Josiah and like Kaylee and Ruby, and it was like then I kind of realized like, and I had a miracle happen, and I was like, oh my gosh, and so like through that I realized that like I was seeking approval from like a world that crucified a perfect man,
Yeah.
which is like, what the heck, Lola? So I think that through that like I kind of realized that, and then I just started to like be like if I'm just truly authentically like who God set me out to be, if someone doesn't like me, then they're not for me.
Yeah. Oftentimes we try to fit like little things into God's eyes. So think of like the prettiest people with the most money and anything you want. Why are they the most? Why do they have like mental health issues?
Yeah.
Why are the most beautiful people the ones who are struggling the most? Because we're not built for that.
Yeah.
We need something more.
Like if you guys know me, because most of you guys know me well, like I'm very, very talkative, and I can be very loud.
Yeah. I can confirm.
So like, but then I kind of realized like if I'm around someone they don't like how talkative I am, like I shouldn't be like changing myself, because I think that God made me talkative because it helped me reach more people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
I guess.
When I first heard this question, I took it a different way. So I think, I don't know really how to say this, but I have faith in my parents. Right now, I have faith in my spiritual leaders. I have faith in my friends. But more importantly, I have faith in God.
Yeah.
I think you can have faith in your parents. I think God wants you to have faith in your parents. I think God wants you to have faith in your spiritual leaders. I think God wants you to have faith in your friends and in your family.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should affect your relationship with God.
That's good.
If one friend starts to go away, or if one spiritual leader is saying something that's just not true, I don't think you should continue to have faith in them anymore.
Yeah.
I think you should have faith in them in the realms of what God wants you to have faith in.
Hey,
So,
that was good.
yeah. I think you can have faith in other things, but it should be through God you have faith in others.
Yeah, that's good.
To complement that one, I struggle with having faith in my current circumstance. And it kind of goes off of what you're saying, if you see it. So there's this story in the Bible where Jesus was in the boat with his disciples, right? And the boat, it was a storm, and the boat was going to capsize, and they're like, Master, don't you care if we survive? And then Jesus said, where is your faith? Now, he did not say, you don't have faith. He said, where is your faith?
Yeah.
So is your faith in Jesus, the one who's on the boat with you? Or is your faith in the storm? So oftentimes, my faith is in the storm and not the one who's in the boat with me.
Yeah.
That's anxiety. Anxiety is misplaced faith. Anxiety is putting your faith in the storm, like how Peter was walking, and then you will sink. That's anxiety. But when you have put your faith on the rock, not the sand, and you won't sink, but on the rock you stay firm, you need to put faith in him. That's how you defeat anxiety.
Oh.
Anxiety is misplaced
Someone get this
faith.
guy a microphone.
Right.
Get him a microphone in the college audience.
Facts. Get them on a TED Talk.
Literally.
We're on the best TED Talk in America, guys.
That's
Oh.
true.
I'll
We
go.
basically are TED Talk.
I'll go and I'll make mine like quick.
I am.
I feel like a lot of times the person I put my faith in is myself. Like, I don't know. I'll make this quick. I used to wear glasses, and I didn't really like how I wore glasses
I loved it.
because none of my friends wore glasses, and so I felt like so out of place with them. I was like, wow, they're so much cooler than me because they don't wear glasses. I'm the only one who does. I know it sounds so stupid, but I was really in my head about it.
Yeah.
So then I got contacts, and I don't know. I feel like I got contacts for the wrong reason at first, but now I feel like I got them for the right reason, mostly just for sports, really. But it does feel nice not to wear anything.
Cameron,
like
what
this.
sports do you play?
Soccer, basketball, track.
This
I
kid's
got
I love track.
Where's this guy's scholarship?
But yeah,
Shout out to all my lacrosse legends out there, by the way. Best
Yeah.
sport out there.
lacrosse.
Shout out to my lacrosse players.
If I could just throw something out there, I hadn't planned on
answering this question, but it's just made me think. I feel like I do have a great deal of faith in myself, but it's faith that translates into confidence. And I have a great deal of confidence not only in myself. If there are any Lauryn Hills out, if there are any Lauryn Hill fans out there, I'm quoting one of her interviews. I have a great deal of confidence in myself, but it's not just in myself, it's in the work that God's doing through me. So I have a great deal of faith and confidence in myself as a vessel, rather than as a soul body. I'm like a servant of Christ. I have faith in myself as a tool for God.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
All right, we're gonna get into our last question. How has faith helped us during tough times?
Okay, guys.
Helped you during tough times?
Okay, there's a reason I said in my icebreaker, the Pirates of the Caribbean.
What?
It's because
It all ties in.
It was very
Okay,
There's a reason I said Pirates of the Caribbean,
It's my foster
and it's
list.
because faith is an anchor, and they use anchors in Pirates of the Caribbean.
Wait, pirate rope.
Yeah. Faith reminds me that I'm not alone in any season, at any time. Even on the worst days, I'm a child of God. Shout out Forrest Frank, great song. Also, when you go through a bad season, it's sometimes because God is preparing you for something. So, even though you think it's bad, and there might be a reason for it. It's not, you don't just get straight A's in your classes. The teachers don't just give you the answers to all the questions. They make you study for it so you actually learn it. And I guess that's the same thing for God. So faith is the anchor in my life. Without faith, I'd be a completely different person. I don't even want to think about that person. But yeah, faith is an anchor. So,
Yeah, to tie into that, there's like a saying, pressure makes diamonds. And kind of what I have on here kind of ties into that. One of my favorite verses in the Bible is Romans 8:28. For God works everything for the good of those who love Him. So this is a conditional promise. This is not for everyone. These are for the people who love Him. So every time I go through a hard time, I think God could use this for good. So there's like this. One of my favorite pastors, he uses this metaphor, right? You want to eat cake, right? You got eggs, you got sugar, you got flour, you got cornstarch, whatever you put in your cake. You would not eat those. You would not eat eggs. I mean, Cooper probably would, like a raw egg, but most.
I can see you just like.
There was a video of me eating a raw egg just like that when I was in like 8th grade.
You would not eat raw eggs. You wouldn't eat raw flour. You wouldn't eat raw cornstarch. But with raw sugar, I would eat raw sugar. But when you put all that together, it makes cake. It makes something better. God can turn your bitter into better.
Hey.
So wait. So
He just did something there.
So whenever I go through a hard time, I stole this from the passage, so I didn't create it myself. I look back at Romans 8:28, and it's like David. I look at the verses. God taught us, like with faith, hard times do perseverance, create perseverance. Romans 8:28, etc. And I look at that, and now I can face the Philistine. I can face the giant when I look at the verse.
That's good.
So yeah, that's my answer.
Sorry. To kind of add on to Romans, there's also James 1.
You know, it's James.
For you know that the testing of your faith produces perseverance.
Yep.
So guys, we're currently doing an internship at our church, and we have to memorize that. And Cooper's
You
already.
have to memorize the whole
Cooper's
chapter.
already like.
I'm farther than all of you.
Yeah. We'll talk to
I thought it
you.
was James.
Not as you over
I
there.
thought it was James 1.
It's like.
No, it's the whole
All of James 1.
I have a pretty good answer. So guys, so there's a reason I brought up middle school in the past, because middle school I went to Pioneer, and we were the Pioneer Pirates. So this ties back to. Lily just said
It's all interconnected.
Alright, we got
So basically for me, like, faith helped me during tough times was I had a lot of like resentment because I didn't grow up with an addictive parent, but when I was 13, one of my parents had a relapse on an addiction that I was not aware of. No, I was 13. And so like through that, that was when I was really growing in my faith, but then when that happened, like I had just it all went, like I stopped going to church, and I just would I was really depressed because it was like the parent I'm closest with, and they were gone because they were like in rehab. And I was so mad at God because I was like, why would you take that away? Like, I've been doing everything right, and like you had to do that. But then I think that through that I started realizing that like if my parent hadn't gone away and had to leave me in that season of like isolation, like then they wouldn't have recovered. And now that parent is fully sober. I mean, that's still my favorite. And I think just knowing that he had a plan for them. Like, because sometimes God lets you hit rock bottom so that you learn that he's your rock at the bottom. And I think that my faith, like, really grows through my struggles because I've seen God pull through, like, every single time. So then now if I'm faced with a struggle, like, I had a lot of anger against that parent up until we had one big night at our youth group where we had, like, a mock funeral. And we put stuff in the casket, and I finally, like, dropped that forgiveness. And I, like, physically feel, like, the weight. Like, that's where my faith really comes from, is like giving something to God. So like, I don't know if that doesn't really relate that much to the question. I mean, I kind of.
So that is.
Okay, but like, I think that just like during tough times, like going back and like remembering like every single time that God has pulled you through is just like, it's like kind of like Cameron was talking about like how witnessing other people's miracles gives you faith, but like thinking back and like thinking about your own miracles and your own like physical experiences with God, like can really.
Yeah,
That's good.
Wait,
I think.
what does that have to do with parents?
I just know I was.
She did a pirate.
It was just to their school.
But I guess the
Get
moral.
it? Because you.
Okay. Everyone, thank you for watching this episode. We're gonna end it on a different verse every single episode from now on. So I came up with a verse, Lamentations chapter 3, verse 22 through 23. The steadfast love of the Lord never ceases. His mercy never comes to an end. They are new every morning. Great is your faithfulness. Thank you, everyone. I hope you have a great rest of your day.
See you next week. Next week we're talking
Next
about.
podcast episode.
Next week we're talking about evangelization. We're gonna bring my man Logan home right here.
Whoa!
See ya. Peace.